MaxPax and Solar have both struggled in this matchup just a little bit, but MaxPax starting to look better, Solar as well. So in the finals of EPT NA 126, I hope you do enjoy this series. But before we get into that fully, again, reminder, I stream on Twitch every Monday, EPT North America, 7 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern for the Bayo Bash, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern with WTL replays, and then, of course, EPT Korea at 11 p.m. Eastern as well. But also, if you want to see stuff when I'm not live, again, I do upload one video on YouTube here in 4K every other day of the week, and more as I have time. There'll be some heavier Frost Giant coverage as things start to pop up in the next couple weeks. So be on the lookout for that, folks, and enjoy the video. In the upper left now, in the red, he took down Beyond to get here. He is MaxPax. In the bottom right, in the blue, his name, Solar. You're only having 5 hours of sleep is totally fair. I'll buy that one. But also, it's like 5 a.m. Skillus this time. So it's like, yeah, Hero only had 5 hours of sleep, but Skillus is pulling an all-nighter. So, still fair, though. I mean, 5 hours, it's hard to function when you're sleep-deprived. He also said Hero had better PvP than MaxPax. I buy that Hero has better PvZ than anyone in the world. I'll buy that, actually. Every Korean's Protoss that I talk to pretty much says that they just don't want to play Hero. I just do not want to play him in PvP because he not only are his mechanics so damn strong, but he is a freaking mad scientist and he does all manner of weird things. But I want to talk about this early game for a moment because I am curious to see how MaxPax plays it. He beat Cyril today. I did not see those games. I was working, unfortunately. I know he played like a 4 carrier style in game 2, but I heard he played modern hero style in game 1. And the thing we got to talk about is in the early game here is the presence or the absence of a probe block. So Curious Minds even more of an interesting map because of course it is so short and it does favor these Roach Ravager, even like Queen Walks with Overlord poop, with Overlord creep. But really the way the Enlightened, or as Scarlet calls it, the Enlightened Protoss, and I do like that. I like that name. It's suitably memey. The way it works is if you want to get a quicker Stargate, as MaxPax gets a Twilight because it's Curious Minds, if you want to go for a quicker Stargate, you actually, you don't probe block. But if you want to do Adept Harassment, then you do probe block. So we're seeing both of them here. Now Zergling's in the main base. It's going to be a full scout. It's going to say, okay, there's a Twilight. Adept's not going to get much done because it's only the first one. And there's a Stalker behind that. So MaxPax, this is just going to be Adept waves. Really shouldn't surprise too much of anyone, but he only has 2 gateways on the map right now. On the way, excuse me. There will be 3 total. And if he doesn't add a 4th, I'm actually really excited. This is something that Zhao was experimenting with 6 months ago on Korea, where he went through the motions of it being 4 gate glaive. But he only got 3, and he got a much quicker 3rd base, and it was a macro build. Much like, oh, well, okay, there's the 4th. There, oh, yay, nope, we're going 6 gate. We're going glaive all in. Never mind, the wholly opposite direction. I get really excited for a second. I'm like, yeah, MaxPax is going to take his 3rd quickly, and it's this cool macro build, and it's the same idea where we used to just only see 4 gate blink, and then Forest players realized they could do 3 gate blink, and so cool. And then MaxPax goes 6 gate glaive all in. I mean, also cool, also interesting going the other way. But it wasn't what I was excited about, so I'm offended. MaxPax, do better. Please show me the builds that I want. Skillus does have good. Skillus really impressed me this season. I was sad to see him get knocked out when he did. Although, well, the funny thing is we talk about Skillus in PvZ because that's the matchup here. I was talking to, really, Scarlet was my insight into a lot of like the modern PvZ when I was prepping this week. And she was saying, yeah, like Skillus is good, but top 2 Western PvZ, Neeb and Hearthstone. Skillus is like a category below that, which surprised me because I thought, out of watching everyone in DreamHack, that it felt like Skillus had the best PvZ, but I didn't see a lot of the Hearthstone games, so that's totally fine. And we saw Neeb just dominate Scarlet in that PvZ. But here comes MaxPax, 4 or really 6 adepts at a time here, so he gets a little bit more money. And it's curious to see what Solar's read is on this, because he's right now setting himself up as if this is 4 gate glaive. So a 1 queen's going to go down pretty much immediately here. And now, the fun thing about this, with you go 6 gate glaives like this, you can actually fight the roaches when they're in medium numbers. So the Zerglings now, Solar's doing everything he can to keep as much of his army alive. As now MaxPax finds his way in the main base. That will not be an Evo chamber block, so 5 workers have died already. And the goal to start is you kill queens. Right, that's what makes life really easy for you, and you kill everything else eventually. But Adepts in the 3rd base here. Solar, yeah, absolutely caught looking. He's going to lose a lot of workers. He's killed off a lot of lings as well. MaxPax has now 10 drones, and he continues to warp in. 11 workers go down. Now Adepts back in the main base here. There's just not enough army to defend. Meanwhile, Adepts are slowly and steadily killing off the 3rd, which is maybe going to happen eventually. But now it's only 3 Adepts in the main base, and that is something. But 2 Adepts in the natural now. Really Adepts in every single base. And behind this, well, there is a lair. There are no spores, and Dark Shrine's just about halfway done. And the Adepts, they continue to arrive, so this is not really even saying, well, okay, MaxPax is easing on the gas. He's maybe the army is from Solar's a little bit too strong, so MaxPax is just going to have to, well, actually, you don't want to throw these Adepts away like this. And the Adepts didn't quite get their way into a nice spot, so the Lings actually had a fairly nice round, but the Lings do fall down. Now, when 4 Adepts into the mineral line, starting to kill more and more and more workers. I think we're at 20 right now. 20 workers. There we go. But here come the DTs, and there's no detection whatsoever. We have no spores, we have no overseers, and 1 DT in every mineral line. Actually, these DTs, they're going to kill the base. They're just absolutely going to kill this 3rd base. Not a lot that Solar can do. Meanwhile, in the natural, no detection there. In the main base, no detection there. But okay, there's an overseer now. There's 1. Please, MaxPax, kill more. Okay, there he is. There's more. Good Oriental habit. You bought your Atlanta ticket. I'm so proud of you. Ganoy, see, like, people are listening to the influencer. You should too. But 17 workers have died. Solar is on 37 workers. He's lost 33 drones. Yeah, no, MaxPax is good. I was actually really unimpressed with MaxPax's PvZ in DreamHack, and for what I've been seeing of him recently, but like, killing Cyril 2-0, no mean feat. He played a really great series against Sue in WTL. I catch that Monday night. So, I mean, he's looking better. It feels like he's starting to figure it out. And it also doesn't feel like he's one of these Protoss players that is just, well, okay, in the Sue series it did. But I guess now it's not, or he's kind of blindly following the build a little bit, so he's not transitioning out of it well enough. But for now, Archon drop's going to knock down Creep. Solar is droning back up. What we see is in the army supply, he's equal in army supply. And MaxPax with his 3rd base here, he's actually doing wonderfully economically. His Blink's halfway done. And when MaxPax's Blink is done, with these Immortals, with these Archons, that's where things start to get really scary. Because Solar, he doesn't have a devastating army supply. He just has a bunch of roaches. And Blink Stalkers, I mean, they do bonus damage. Everything in this army does bonus damage to the armored units. So they're going to trade very well. When we're looking at equal army supply here, Solar is most unhappy, so we're going to start to see some roaches fall. More Stalkers warping in. Blink's not even done, but MaxPax realized that he has a timing right here where he can distract things. So now the army runs forward. Biles are going to... Oh, cool. Last second splits. 1 Bile lands. The second one does not. Now Archon's out the front. Stalkers blinking in. The Archon is dead. Biles again not going to really hit here. And MaxPax, so long as he keeps his army supply roughly even, he's going to be a very happy boy. And in fact, he's going to be ahead, so he's going to blink forward. Solar falls. MaxPax takes game 1. In the bottom left now, in the right, he's up 1 off of a 6-gate glaive and a DT into Blink Stalker all in. Really cool build. He is MaxPax. His opponents in the upper right, in the blue, the Zerg from Korea, Solar. Great intro, Bayo. Very nice. The Zerg from Korea. That describes a lot of Zergs. Not all that descriptive, but it's fine. So to say this is not the grand finals, but it is the grand finals. Indeed, indeedy do. So where do we go from here? All right, MaxPax is up 1, but I feel like that's the kind of thing that only works maybe once in a series. Maybe it works multiple times in a bracket state. Oop, didn't mean to hit that button. Maybe it works multiple times in like a bracketed tournament. because your opponent just doesn't have the time to see what you're doing. But certainly is the kind of thing that works only once in like a group stage. So we're gonna have to see if MaxPax plays the more evolved style or the enlightened or the enlightened Protoss as no, Gnoy, gifting a sub to Oriental Habit does not absolve you of your requirement to go to Atlanta. You should never have said you live drivable. I'm gonna hold you to it. But of course, everyone else, anyone that's watching from the Roddy Raid or anyone else, if you are close to Atlanta, you should go. I'll be there. And I want to see you. I want to meet you. And I know this is 6 months away, but I'm starting my campaign now. Because if I have a lot of people coming to Atlanta to meet me, maybe ESL is going to hire me. Anyways. Okay, so MaxPax opened Stargate in this game, which 2 months ago, I would have said, okay, this means the game's going to be boring. But Enlightened Protoss. We're big fans of Enlightened Protoss builds on this channel. And even then, MaxPax showing, I guess, in the Serral series that he has a lot of tricks up his sleeve. If he can play that turtle toss well and still have the significant threat of this 540 blink, so like the really aggressive version of the modern Enlightened Protoss, or the slightly older hero style, because again, this build is evolving every week, every couple days as the style gets fleshed out. It's under rapid development. The later Twilight, where you get 3 oracles and you time out your blink and your +1, bunch of different options. Regardless, if MaxPax proves to us, and proves to Zergs in particular, that's the important thing, that he can go and play both styles, then he is going to be one of the scariest PvZ players in the planet. Like, if he can kill Serral with both styles, granted, yes, it is on Online Cup, it's not Serral offline. And I do put a lot more stock in Serral offline than I do online. I think there's a reason that we saw him winning Katowice, but not really winning like the DreamHack online cups or DreamHack online tournaments. If he can do that, I mean, that is a scary max. That is an even scarier MaxPax. But for now, Lings, they're going to find out that the third base is here, that 330 timing that the Stargate opener allows you to do with these oracles. They just keep you safe. So the first thing I'm looking at in this game is, man, I'm sorry, the washing machine's going, and I think it's leaving some interference through things, and it's, yeah, unfortunate. Nothing I can really do about it. I'm sorry. Short of like making my roommates not have their clothes get laundered properly. But okay, so I was gonna say the next question I'm asking myself is this 3 oracle, or is this 2 oracle quicker blink? And it looks like it's gonna be double oracle here, which is an interesting decision. It's not a good or a bad, but hero almost always goes triple oracle, right? He delays his blink a little bit, but he gets a lot of pressure on the map with his oracles. He kills a lot of workers, and he just abuses the hell out of stasis traps, both aggressively in terms of putting it right behind his Star Arc line, so as surrounds happen, everything just gets frozen and force fielded, and defensively. But MaxPax and a lot of the Western Protoss players have started to move into this double oracle style, where you go and again you just get your tech a little faster, so you have your blink done faster, and then you're able to move into that mid game just a little bit faster. But there we go. Blink is on the way. It's going to be done right around that 5-minute mark. So this is the quote-unquote, this is the true enlightened Protoss. It's the, well, actually, no, never mind. +1's on the way at the same time. So this is not the style that Scarlet was exactly telling me about, but we will have Blink right around, I think, like the 6-10-minute mark. Something like that. Which is going to time out very nicely with +1. But what it means, because your Blink is a little slower, it means you can move out on the map with Stalkers just a little bit slower, which then does mean that the creep spread of Solar is going to get a little bit nicer. Other thing I'm looking at, when does MaxPax take his 4th? Because in this style, and the way MaxPax plays it, he gets his 4th, honestly, often before the Zerg 4th, but he's not going to do that this game. Is a couple more drones, they do fall. Oh, yeah, SmartGF, I saw you, were you in a Discord talking about that or something else? But I saw you talking about that, and I'm excited to eat all your StarCraft food. But you know, if I end up casting, you're not going to be casting every series. So I will make time to go into the crowd and talk to people. I don't have COVID in like 27 different illnesses because I've shaken the hands of everyone at the event. I'm going to be disappointed. Okay, but MaxPax on Double Forge, 4th base on the way. And Double Forge is actually a MaxPax, or as a Western iteration. Solar or Hero for a while he was going single forge, double forge eventually, but single forge. This quicker second forge is new. All right, but now here comes Lynx, and now of course with Blink just about done, MaxPax feeling comfortable getting active on the map. Solar has been able to establish some creep, and that is one of the benefits of this style, because Blink has done it 7 minutes instead of 540. It means that Solar's had a lot more time, but also really one of the big benefits of this aggressive multitasking style that Hero started to build for us is this idea that actually the creep spread can be dealt with. As now we're going to see, of course, the stasis bat or the stasis trap not get a lot, but it does get a queen with a force field doing a nice job. MaxPax has to retreat off creep, and we don't have the layering of stasis traps just yet. So MaxPax has to be careful here. He doesn't have a warp prison for reinforcements and doesn't really have the layering for stasis traps as well. All right, so now the stocks here. Again, they're going to get cleaned up. And this is where it gets a little scary, because MaxPax, it doesn't feel like he's gotten enough done with the styles. So Solar now feeling very, very happy to run across the map. He's cut workers at 66. He's maxing out here on Roach Ravager Ling. +1 melee, or +1 range, not +1 melee. This is still holdable, though, for MaxPax. He has 1-1 here, but the Roaches, they're going to try to find their way on in. We need Shield Battery to get pops right now. Oracle's not where they need to be just yet, because they need to be targeting these Ravagers down. They need to be punishing the Zerg player for getting active on the map right now. But the Oracles don't have a lot of energy. This is where triple Oracle really finds its strength. So MaxPax blinking in once again. The Shield Battery overcharge didn't really find a lot because MaxPax was forced to run away from it. And now there's not really much of a concave, so Solar busting on in. He is just... MaxPax didn't get enough damage done in the early game, so Solar is just busting down MaxPax's door, his multiple doors. The fourth base is forfeit, the third base is forfeit. On the other side, what do we have? The Zealots are trying to make something happen, but really not doing all that much. So we're going to see the third base dead, Oracles are out of energy, Queens have walked just to ward the Oracles away. They're not really there to even transfuse. But the Roaches are running away a little bit. So MaxPax, he's going to lose his third base. I think he loses this fourth base as well, because it really just the army of MaxPax is 2 zoned away. And the Zealots are going to be dealt with as well, trying to knock down reinforcements. So actually, okay, yeah, Solar's just going to target down. He's going to prioritize the workers over everything else. And MaxPax, he got 40 army supply to the 120 of Solar here. I've seen these holds happen. But again, the lack of static defense and just the full concave here. MaxPax is just, he was a little bit too greedy for the build that Solar went for. Didn't quite scout it out and didn't get enough damage done with that aggression. There's a reason that we see delayed upgrades, faster blink right now, is because it allows you to scout this stuff out and kill it before it starts. But now MaxPax on 71 workers, that's going to do it. Solar ties the series up. It's 1-1. In the bottom right here, in the red, he took game 1 but fell in the second for PSISTORM. MaxPax. In the upper left now, in the blue. Again, tying it up. Really nice timing in game 2. Solar. And I'd have to go back and look at it. But I think we can attribute why that looks so overwhelming for Solar in game 2 is, first of all, the Oracles, they got damage, but they didn't get damage early. Oh, by the way, was this okay, MaxPax did pro block. Anyway, where was I? So I think we can attribute this to MaxPax went the greediest possible version of Hero style, where you get double forge, you get +1 and blink, you get double Oracle, which is, I mean, getting double, triple Oracle, I don't know whether we can call that a greedy play, because it does control tempo and does control map and scouting, all of that. And he went for a quick fourth and all of these things. And he didn't quite put 2 and 2 together that Solar was really only on 66 workers and just maxing out on this +1 Roach Ravager Ling push. If he had gone for, say, the less Oracles, maybe 1 Oracle, even 2 Oracles, if you just get the Twilight fast enough, you got to cut corners elsewhere. I don't know if you can do that. I think for the 540 blink time, you may just need to be 1 Oracle. But regardless, if you went for that and had Stalkers more active on the map earlier and was able to start snowballing that, then suddenly Solar's not able to get hit to his nice timing, and then maybe you're able to defend it, have a better idea it's happening, and have more static defense and be readier. Oh, no, Guardians are the crabs. Absolutely Guardians of the crabs, but Not a StarCraft land, it's StarCraft 2 land, so we don't have those. I mean, I guess we had them in the campaign. Talk about campaigns. Can we talk about how good Frost Giants' marketing campaign has been? Like, they have spent almost nothing on these preview events to get pretty much anyone who's anyone that has worked in RTS, from like RTS esports or RTS video games in some way, shape, or form, to just get us all in a tizzy, tweeting about it and being so excited about it. And they didn't have to pay any of us. We felt really excited to get the sneak peek. And like their market, I compare their marketing campaign to, like, I'm not trying to talk down on any other thing, but compared to like the alpha weekend for Immortal, and it's like Immortal, I'm pretty sure, paid for slots on streams and did all this other stuff, and they got far less out of it than just the sneak preview and hype. That's fair, Smargaf. I didn't know whether you were going to be able to get that, but some sort of caffeinated alcoholic beverage would be the perfect stem. Okay, 2 additional gateways are going down. MaxPax looks like right now he hasn't really determined, or he's not really showing us whether he's going for 6 gate, 3 gate, 4 gate. Because right now he's adding on his 3rd gateway. Robo's on the way. Glaives are halfway done. It's Berlingrad, so you go for a glaive timing. Solo, though, he's going to get a scout in the main because he kind of realizes that you do need to hit this 4-minute scout time. He didn't do it earlier. And this is actually rather interesting that he had 2 overlords on the other side of the map. Normally, this is actually not something that you see, but it is in this game. So Overlord is going to be able to count the gateways, count the robo finishing. So, okay, there's 1 gateway. I see the adepts, but I don't see additional gateways. And that's the big deal. This is not going to be 6 gate all in. This is going to be 3 gate. This is going to be the opposite side. This is going to be the thing that I was talking about that Zound has been really excited about, or has been experimenting with on the side. I mean, there's always the chance that this Overlord dies and MaxPax drops an additional 3 gateways, but we see the Robo Bay on the way, so behind this, it will be Disruptor drops. And I think we're going to see him go behind this. We're going to get a 3rd, but as now the Adepts, they're going to get a couple lings. That's nice. I think behind this, we're going to see him go into a 2 Colossus, 2 Disruptor timing with Blink. That is my read on this game. I mean, that is how that normally tends to work if you do go the Disruptor follow-on. But for now, it's only 3 gateways. Solar Dills still have to react to this as if it's scary. But, ooh, these Ravagers are free. MaxPax doesn't know that, but if you shade on top of those Ravagers, they would be absolutely free. Ling's on the other side. I guess distracting him, though, so it's going to be forced back. Solar is, okay, for a second there, I thought he was running onto the other side. And we got to point out, this is an atypical response to the build that MaxPax is doing. Getting the 3 Ravagers, actually, Solar overbuilt Roaches. You got 1 additional Roach. This is the Dark Style hold, and it's really good if it works, and if it doesn't work, I mean, it doesn't really. But normally we see the DRG hold, which is you have Lings, and actually you don't even get a Spine really anymore. You just get a lot of Lings, then you get Roaches a little bit later, and you kind of hold with Lings first and you're fine. But Adepts find their way in the main base, 3 workers go down, and again, this is MaxPax with actually a later 3rd than a lot of the glaive timings do, but because he was able to stay on 3 gateways, not 4. Well, it does mean that you can move into Blink and Disruptors and Warp Prism Speed and all these wonderful things that MaxPax has afforded himself. As we do see the Warp Prism get recalled, so you can put Disruptors into it. You say you're surprised Gates to Pyre didn't get any attention at all. They got a little. The problem is a lot of the, I don't know, you want to call it influencers? Well, part of the problem with Constant Mover is not a proven studio. It's a bunch of people that modded StarCraft and got a lot of success with Starbow. As we got the push happening just a little bit. Adepts and 2 Disruptors here. So MaxPax's not even wasting any time. So Disruptors, oh, that's a bit of an aggressive position. So we're going to see the Ravagers, the Roaches move forward. But here are the Disruptor shots. He's looking for the Ravagers. He gets 1. He's going to knock down, 1 Queen. Another Queen's going to go very low as now the Adepts taking good fights. But please target that low Queen. He's not going to, though. And now Stalkers warp in, but the Queens are here, the Ravagers are here. So MaxPax has got to back up for a little bit. Adding 3 additional gateways. Ling run by on the other side, though, with that's not going to get anything. 4 Adepts and a shield battery is going to do more than enough. And here on the other side, Disruptor is going to knock down another Queen. 3rd Queen is healing up, but Disruptor shot should be able to get that one. Instead, it's going to target a Ravager down. And as long as you don't lose too much, MaxPax is just finding value. He's okay with this, but we got to point something out, folks. Solar, because he didn't really take much damage to the glaives. He is transitioning. His Spire is done. He's got Mutas on the way. And sure, there will eventually be Blink Stalkers, but Mutas are a fantastic move to deal with all this. And now we're going to see all the Adepts go down. Bile's actually going to miss, which is the whole point of that. We're going to see one Roach fall. Ling's trying to get on top of this. Second one. You got to get 3 Roaches and a Ravager because they're off creep. But 10 Mutas are on the way. And sure, Stalkers can be kind of a good stopgap, a temporary solution to the Mutas. But in the long term, you do want a more stable idea, especially when +1 is not yet done. But this is important. MaxPax, he scouts it out. He has his observer around the Zerg third, so he sees the Mutas hatching, immediately pulling the Disruptors back home. We're seeing cannons and shield batteries go down everywhere. He understands that he's going to have to weather something for a little bit. And he doesn't want to take too much damage. Because if we have a Zerg committing this hard to Mutas, he's going to 15 Mutas. If MaxPax is able to run across the map right now, as the Mutas pop out, with all these Blink Stalkers, as he's going to get a Muta for free, all the strength of Solar's army is in the counterattack. It actually really does not fight phase up here. So now the Mutas are going to get on top of the shield battery to start. MaxPax waffling just a little bit. I like the read, but he has to be really crisp about it. So the Mutas and the Lings getting on top of everything here. We're going to see the drones go down, or the probes go down, excuse me. But now MaxPax has found his own way into this. The Adepts are finding so much worker damage on the third base. He finds his way into the natural as well. More Stalkers, they warp in. But there's no shield battery here, so the Stalkers will just kind of die to these Mutas, even without +1. But there's the recall. So 11 workers have died, 3 Stalkers remaining. All the Queens are dead, but now here come the Stalkers. Here comes the army of MaxPax trying to knock the Mutas down, but Roaches and Lings are doing a damn fine job until the Disruptor knocks them down. So at the end of the day, Solar has taken more damage than MaxPax does, I think. Because MaxPax keeps his bases alive, so too does Solar, but Solar's lost 16 workers. He has lost some number of Mutas. He's lost 3 Mutas, and he's lost agency on the map. Hey, Kamina1571, thanks so much for the follow. Glad you're enjoying things here. And, but here comes Solar. I keep wanting to talk about what Constant A-Mover is talking about, but unfortunately the players are just playing too frenetic of a game, which not really that much of a problem. But now the Mutas, they're going to find really what is a 4th base that doesn't really matter. It's not probed out. Eventually MaxPax would like to do something with it, but he will lose the stag defense for now because of course these Mutas do have +1. And this is just a zoning tactic because here come Lings into the natural. They're not going to go into the third base as well. I kind of thought they were going to segment off there, but that is where the army is. That being said, these are not +1 Lings, so they're not going to get a lot. But meanwhile, Mutas, there we go. That's what you're looking for. Find their way into the third base. Immortal is just going to go down here immediately. Stalkers pulling forward, trying to knock the Mutas down, but I'm not really convinced there are enough Stalkers to really deal with this right now. Yeah, not even Magic Boxing, just killing all the Stalkers, and this should do it. Solar, he's going to find himself a 2-1 lead after he holds off the shenanigans of MaxPax. He gets into the Muta attack. He just pins MaxPax back, and now there's not a lot that MaxPax can do anymore. More Lings, more Mutas come flooding on in every second. Eventually, charge is going to be done, but it's not enough. Solar, he takes Berlingrad, and now we move on to his map pick. In the upper right now, he's down 1 map, looking to take us to game 5 for PSISTORM, MaxPax. His opponent on the bottom left side of the map here in the blue. He's up 1, 2-1 here. Solar. Just imagine, MaxPax 2-0 Sterile, then he loses 3-1 to Solar. I leave you all to draw your own conclusions from that one. Of course, it is like, it's getting almost 6 in the morning in MaxPax's time. Oh, maybe Denmark's 1, it's 5, 6 in the morning, something like that. I don't know whether Denmark is in CEST or not. Don't know where the time zone line of demarcations are. I'm used to going like 1 state west in the US and it's its own time zone, or maybe 2 at the most. Or if you're Texas, 2 different time zones in 1 state. These folks, we know everything's bigger in Texas. All right, but for now, MaxPax, he did go. He moved off early for the probe block. So this does open up room for him to be a little bit more annoying with the Adept pressure. He's not guaranteed to do it, and the whole, well, you at this point with the ground toss style, you just, if you go for probe block, you're going to go across the map with 2 Adepts and try to find something. It's not guaranteed. We're not seeing MaxPax do that as much as, say, Neeb does this every game, or Estrella does this like every game, or Hearthstone does it. But MaxPax has a slightly different read on how this nouveau Proto style works. And I'm not saying he's wrong, I'm not saying he's right, but it is different. It's slightly different. And it is interesting to start to see the build order, or the builds, the way Protoss players are starting to are approaching this matchup. It's interesting to see how they're taking it differently, because for a while it was just, okay, play hero style, and we're going to copy hero style, and maybe we're not going to understand it as well, the breakpoints, and well, we're going to not be all that happy. Showtime did this. I think Showtime was a big victim of this when he played Raynor. Please tell me that Frost Giants RTS is anime waifu gacha themed. Absolutely, yes, 100%. They're going to be selling husbando pillows and waifu pillows, body pillows, in-game and at day one launch. And of course, it is going to be fully bodysuit VR, so you'll be able to experience the virtual body pillow just well enough. You heard it here first. And that is, but in case someone sees this on YouTube, that is absolutely fake. Please do not take me. Please do not take that seriously whatsoever. That no. What I can tell you, because they tweeted a response to it today, where they are intentionally designing so they avoid any sort of pay-to-win idea. They've committed to absolutely no pay-to-win shenanigans, which is good. They also have committed to it being a PC game and no phones required. But okay, second Oracle is on the way. Twilight's gonna be done right around 5 minutes, so this is the... Okay, so yeah, MaxPax is CEST. So yeah, just about 6 in the morning. We're gonna have to see whether MaxPax can pull the all-nighter and take Solar to a game number 5, and he's doing it by doing something different. He's gone for the double Oracle. He's presenting this game as if it is, well, modern, the hero style. Meanwhile, second Stargate on the way. Fleet Beacon as well. He's going to move, I think, into the style that we saw him, from what I'm told, I haven't seen the game that he beat Sero with, where he went oh, nice Oracle micro there. He gets a 4th, but you lose an Oracle, and that's not really worth it. You're going to lose a second one. Yes, it is. The recall's not good enough. Sometimes I follow a unit, then I forget I'm observing. Because I'm so, especially when I'm like, when I've been casting for DreamHack for a while, and it's like, oh, well, I have an observer for that. So I take my hands off the mouse and keyboard. I'm like, oh, well, crap. But anyway, so losing 2 Oracles there for 4 workers, really not worth it. Exactly. Can confirm the right people are in the right places. And actually, I heard something today that another right person is in the right place. I don't know when that's going to be announced, so I'm not talking about it. But I did hear that there's another person that they brought on that is adding on to the right people in the right places. So very exciting. Okay, but now Solar, he's trying to figure out what exactly MaxPax is doing here. It feels like he's oh no, he's seen the... Okay, yeah, he's the carriers on the way now, so that is good news. Is what do we have? Adepts finding their way on into this natural, or third base. A couple workers will go down, but Queens and Lings should be enough to defend this at the end of the day. Does he get 4? He does not. And now Solar with a Spire on the way already. It looks like he's going to go for a Roach Corruptor timing. Which is actually fairly good against this. When you're 2 to 4 carriers, and you have a ground stuff. In fact, MaxPax is going for charge behind this, which I kind of feel like you want Blink Stalkers, because it will be a lot of roaches and you want to be able to deal with the corruptors. But we do now. This is a build actually with this 2 carriers out at 7 minutes that used to be a thing. And this used to be something that Neeb would do all the time on Death Aura, and I forget the other map name. In a degree tile set, where you move out of the map with 2 carriers, you try to find as much value as possible. You sit on these dead airspace positions, and you just harass. Ideally, you're killing queens, but you just get obnoxious as possible, and you prevent the Zerg from powering, much like we see the early Stalker pressure. But now we're going to see 1 queen get targeted down. Transfuses are good, but Interceptor count's still pretty damn healthy. Only 4 of them have died. Now they're going to start to target down, well, they're going to start to target down a lot of workers. 8 workers have died, and we are not quite at critical mass on corruptors just yet. Only 10. That should be enough. Now we're going to see corruptors get a little bit of hull damage, but that is going to be it. So 10 workers have died, and now MaxPax, he's finding his way over onto the other side of the map as the bust commences from Solar. He's looking at just about 13 corruptors for the 4 carriers. Shield battery is actually, there's only 1, and shield battery overcharge is going to have to get popped pretty damn soon. We're going to see 1 carrier just die. And a second one, you just got to target him down. Ling's going on top of the stuff on the ground here. Second carrier, it's dead. Third one, now there's shield battery overcharge. I guess there just wasn't energy earlier. But 2 carriers out of the 4 carrier timing just dying is really not what you want. As more corruptors join the field, more roaches, and actually Solar's not trying to break this. I thought he would just go try to kill his opponent. But he's adding Hive, and he's adding more wonderful things, and we're going to see the corruptors try to kill the base. They will not be successful there. I kind of want to see them snap back and just kill a carrier, and there they will. Another carrier is going to go down. Now, of course, Guardian Shield is nice. It's really denying a lot of damage from this, but this third carrier is dead. And honestly, once the 4th carrier dies, once the corruptors kill that, really their timing is done, but it's going to stay alive. Roach is on the other side. MaxPax holds on well enough. Shield battery doing a damn fine job. And hey, Ganoy, thanks so much for the gifted sub to Pika Miyamano. I don't know who they are, but it appears that you gifted them directly, so I'm sure they have some extreme significance, so thank you. Welcome, Pika Miyamano. Yeah, I know, Blitz, you say you don't have a phone, but Diablo Immortal's on PC, but I don't feel like spending $110,000 to max out 1 character. I don't know about you, but that is about somewhere between 3 and 4 times my yearly earnings. All right, but now Lings, they're going to try to find their way into the 3rd. And MaxPax has been reproducing these carriers. So he has 2 right now. He's +1 air, makes him a little bit scarier. And Solar is just going straight into late game. So Brood Lords are on the way. His Hive is done. +1 melee, Baneling Nest, all these Baneling Speed, all these wonderful things that will allow him to start to try to tear MaxPax apart. Because right now on 4 bases, it's kind of hard. We saw him, he ran out of corruptors right at the very end. But for now, Lings find their way into the upper left side as Solar, honestly, his creep spread leaves a little bit to be desired, but he's halfway on the middle of the map. He's on 5 bases. 7 Broodlords are on the way. Where are they morphing? Okay, they're back here. Yeah, Solar taking no chances that his army gets found out. I'm honestly a little worried, though. I don't know that Solar knows that there is a heavy carrier count. 4th carriers against what is literally 3 corruptors and 8 queens. I feel like Solar's overcommitted to air. I mean, how many spores do we have? We have 2. This is going to be a little spookier. I mean, Solar, absolutely, he wins the ground battle. But I'm not convinced he's going to be able to deal with these carriers. But here comes the army for now. On the left side, Lings and Banelings and all and Spines are going to be able to deal with this run by. On the right side, this is old school PvZ. This is something we used to see, when you have, well, this was PvZ before the 2-star where the Void Ray buff, where, yeah, it was Spines everywhere and Zealot run by is trying to shake things out. So I think it's interesting that we're seeing that happen again in this game, but I guess we're just cursed. We're going to have 1 in PvZ series regardless. We're going to have 1 long Stargate game. But as long as it's not every game, I don't really mind. I enjoy it. But okay, MaxPax marauding out on the map here. The Zealots, again, they're going to get found out here on the left, and a lot of them will go down, but now here comes the main army. That's the big problem. So now Disruptor Shot on top of these queens. 1 will go down, and second shot's going to knock down another queen here, but we need to see Abduct. Vipers don't really have the energy, though, so the Disruptors, they're going to fall. 1 goes down. Roaches are going to find the 3rd one as well, and Roaches are tanky boys. It's not like they're going to die super quickly to the carriers. The problem is they just don't shoot up. So the Disruptors have fallen. Solar really not taking that much damage. He lost creep, and he lost some queens, but those are pretty easily replaceable in the grand scheme of things. But MaxPax also has his 5 bases. MaxPax has his +2 on the way. I don't really see a world where one player really goes and breaks the other. I mean, just because other games do it doesn't mean it's a good thing, Blitz. Like, I am very much for battle passes and skins and non-gameplay affecting items. Yeah, give me a way to support games I really enjoy past their box date. And if you, especially if the battle pass lets me support esports or something like that. Anything that affects gameplay, though, get that out of here. That is not good. But here, the pressure on the right side with all these. This is what is that? 7 carriers, and the spores are not really rooted just yet. Corruptors are not where they need to be, but now they're going to find a nice little inside path on the high ground. But of course, the Archon's doing a good job of zoning things out, so you got to add the Broodlords there. The pressure on the left looks like it's been dealt with for the most part. This base from Solar looks like it will go up, and there we go. Good harpoon. Kind of. Solar's not microing this. That carrier should have been dead a minute ago. Or at least 10 seconds ago, but now it's going to go down anyways, and now the Corruptor's running forward. That actually was pretty bad there for Solar. He took a lot more damage and lost a lot more than he really should have, as he was just killing interceptors, which is not what you always want to snipe the carrier, not the interceptors, unless you're, say, going for the loco maneuver, where you parasitic bomb one carrier, dive all your Corruptors on top of it, and parasitic bomb in the span of 15 seconds just pops all the interceptors, and then they're useless. Anything other than that, you want to kill the carriers. They are what is important here, at least in this game state. Interceptors being as cheap as they are, but now Broodlord's on that dead airspace. Nothing's going to really get on top of it. Ling's looking for the surround to kill a Archon. They're going to get 1. They're going to get 2. No biles on this army just yet, but oh, big fungal. Parasitic bomb. Do we have that one? No, but do we have another fungal here? Not really either, but now here we go. There's nothing really on the ground to keep these Corruptors from going down. 1 Archon's here, but it can't really do much of anything. How many carriers remain? It's still 8, and the Corruptors are still taking heavy damage. So Solar took a good fight, but he does have to back up here. Doesn't really have the upgrades just yet for this air fleet, and the Queens will fall on the backside. Meanwhile, Zealot warp in the main base. Corruptor's going to kill it, and it doesn't look like any tech will go down. Maybe we lost a Queen, not sure. But honestly, these +3 Zealots, +2 Lings without crack, they don't deal with them all that well. Certainly not without Carapace. But now the Ravagers and the Roaches, another Ravager's going to go down. No, not quite. Okay, so Solar has been able to secure his core 6. He's going to want this one, and he's going to want this one. Or maybe this one. He's going to want to go up to 8 bases eventually, but for now, he has his core 6. He has been trading better, which is always scary when you're a turtling player, when you're not expanding as quickly, which is what MaxPax is doing. So when MaxPax is traded worse and he's not been getting as much money, that does get a little bit scary. We do have the random swarm host. Got to have the random swarm host. Meanwhile, so 8 probes have died. Meanwhile, 3 workers on the other side. Not really sure what. I guess a Zealot run by. Looks like, yeah. Okay, Zealot run by on the right side. Didn't really see that. I thought I was going to go to bed before midnight. With how quickly things were going, but that is not true whatsoever. Archons get a juicy shot on the on these Corruptors here, and we're only on. It's only 19 Corruptors. This is a scary Sky army. Now you don't want to overcommit to Corruptors because then you have nothing to deal with the ground, but it's still scary. So Broodlords, they get a little damage on 1 Archon, almost killing it off, and Solar's okay. Solar's very content to play this game state. As we see 2 War Prisms on the left, because 1 War Prism is just going to get targeted down. Unfortunately, they're together, so both War Prisms are going to go down as we have the... Oh, there we go, the Mama Ship on the right side. The mass recall, and Solar's army is heinously out of position now. Good Fungal to slow this down. Corruptors are still rather there. Fungals on top of the Interceptors. It's, I think, 3 Fungals? 2-3 Fungals that pop them all. But now here come the Broodlords, which does mitigate the ground army to an extent. There we go. Fungals on top of the main army here does now mean that the Mothership does not do all that much. Corruptor's trying to knock it all down, and the Mothership play is cool, but it's going to have to be another recall. That means carriers will die. It looks like 2 died, I think, on the backside of that one. Cool move. How many carriers have died this game? 10 carriers have died this game. That's insane. Okay, now Solar active on the map. He understands he killed the Mothership. He killed a lot of carriers. A lot of the supply that MaxPax is going to have is going to be in the production tab, so he can make something happen now. He can knock a base of MaxPax down. And the Corruptors, oh, they're sharking around. They say, where are you? Where are the carriers? Where is my juicy target? And they're not going to find him. But this is going to be a dead base here. +3 cracklings, they shred. So 10 workers fall. This 4th base, this 5th base of MaxPax dies as well. I mean, in fairness, Pinky, StarCraft was never pay to win. There's an argument to be made that maybe like some of the Roach skins, it's hard to tell what upgrades were, but StarCraft was never pay to win. It really is only this this Diablo Immortal game. Okay, MaxPax on the other side. Lots of Banelings on the left. Again, going to try to shut down the economy of MaxPax here, but MaxPax is getting close to max out. His army is pretty damn scary here. 2,000 more minerals, 1,000 more gas. And it's not like Solar has a massive bank. Solar has been actively trading. And in a game state like this, you tend to want to take multiple fights to knock it down as the Archons run forward. Ultra's just getting on top of it. Do we have any Broodlords? Don't really, but now we're going to see the Parasitic Bomb go in. One Neural on the Archons. Maybe this is going to knock the Interceptors down, but now here we go. Corruptor's trying to get on top, but they're sitting on top of Archons. This army is falling. MaxPax is just eviscerating everything, and there's no real, any reproduction here. MaxPax, he takes game 4. We're going to game 5. In the bottom left here, he took games 1 and 4. Can he take a 5th? He's MaxPax. In the upper right, in the blue, he is, for Kaizi Gaming, Solar. Hey, Clava, thank you so much for the gifted sub. I really do appreciate it. You're pretty awesome. Yeah, Solar, there's a reason I'm not super hot on his ZVP, honestly. I think he can be good. But really ever since he lost to Creator in GSL Super Tournament, it's felt like he's a little lost. I doubt it, Constant Mover. First and foremost, like the hours MaxPax puts in as a pro gamer mean that he's probably either taking time off school or he's like independently tutored. I don't know. I doubt he's doing your typical like, 8 to 4, 7 to 3, what school. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Denmark is a little more accommodating. But also it's summer. So I don't know if Denmark schools go all year round, but I would think we're in summer break now. As he actually is turning 18 in July, so I wouldn't be surprised maybe he's graduated. Maybe he just graduated. I don't know. Where are we going in this game number 5, though? On the most standard of maps, 2,000 atmospheres. We saw MaxPax win 1 game on a short map, lose 1 game on a short map. We saw MaxPax win 1 game on a long map and lose 1 game on a long map. And here we are quite in the middle. It's gonna be Stargate opening. That doesn't really tell us all that much. But certainly now Solar has the fear of God. He has the fear of, oh no, you're gonna go and you're gonna carrier rush me. I can't go super greedy. I can't super optimize my build against the Blink Stalker, the hero style. We need a better term for it than just the hero style. I mean, we'd like, Brood War had SK Terran. I don't know, like suppression toss. I'm gonna start calling it like it is because it is a very heavy suppression toss. I think that's we're gonna start calling it suppression toss. But for now, Oracle active on the map, or just about done. We got to point out though that despite MaxPax eBay block or probe blocking the natural, he has not opted for any sort of adept harass. In fact, I don't know that he has 1 adept, but it's kind of at home stalker as well. So part of this is MaxPax is not really doing this in general, and part of it is I think that it's a bit of a mind game because we have seen other Protoss players really. Oh, Lynx find their way in the main base, so that's a bit of a problem. It's going to be a full scout. Luckily, MaxPax not really building anything right now, so it says okay, there's a Stargate, but he knew that anyway because Oracle was there, and he's going to chrono and show a second Oracle. That's not confirmation that it's going to be made. It looks like, okay, MaxPax is going to make that one anyways. This third base is on the way, adding in a couple additional gateways. And it looks like MaxPax is going to go back to ground toss for game 5. Clava. Maybe Constant Mover. I don't know. Oh, you're right, Bliss. The Prince of Denmark does not go to school. He has private tutors in every subject. The Royal House of Denmark. And never mind, it's not going to be ground toss. Second Stargate on the way, but no fleet beacon just yet. So there's a world where this is double Stargate Phoenix. But there's never mind. There's the fleet beacon. Still a world where there's a double Stargate Phoenix and quick anti-pulse crystals, but I highly doubt that one. Typically July and August in European schools. Gotcha. Okay. The school I went to, summer break was like the first week in June, second week in June, until Labor Day, which is like the first weekend in September. But the public schools nearby, they would be like July and August as well, or like late June. But Oracle flies in. It's going to try to find something. It gets one worker. Luckily, though, MaxPax did not overcommit and lose 2 oracles, which was a rather problematic scenario on Hardwire. Luckily, actually, he won that game, but he did everything to not make himself in a happy spot in the early game. But Mass Carrier is a powerful thing if you're able to get into it quickly, and if your opponent just does not respond to it quite appropriately. All right, but here come the Oracles once again, just looking for a little bit more. The fun thing with the triple Oracle style, which is not what we see, again, carriers are on the way, is the fact that it actually gives you queen sniping power. As Adepts into the natural, we're going to kill a couple more workers here. Solar's maybe a little distracted from the Oracles elsewhere. 5 workers go down, make it 6. There we go, and that is far more value than Adepts ever get. Normally you're like 2. But when we talk about the triple Oracle style, which is not what MaxPax is doing, but in comparison, it has a lot of queen sniping power and it has a lot of fourth base sniping power. If you let the energy build up, because there's not really an opportunity to get too much done, queens out on their lonesome, and fourth bases as they get started, very easy to kill. But Solar is aware that this is a carrier timing. By the way, he's aware that there is a Twilight, all these wonderful things, because as we can see, there's an observer right there. So his Spire is on the way. As MaxPax, again, looking to get active on the map. But the problem with 2,000 atmospheres compared to Hardwire, it really is the fact that there's not as much dead airspace in the middle of the map. There's not these nice doodads that you can kind of sit on and make it hard for queens to reach. So it's less abusable. Now, certainly if you hit the timing where there's just not enough anti-air, where we're soon to have 7 queens on the map, right now it's 6, certainly that can find value. But you can't just like sit on a doodad, do infinite damage until the Corruptors come out. Okay, so Oracle's actually, they're going to force all the queens right. Meanwhile, the carriers, they find their way left. They're going to snipe an Overlord, and that's something, but Solar he's found himself in a bit of a Laser Lord scenario. 120 supply out of 160 as he banks supply, but okay, we're going to see the Spore go down. Queens arriving now. Do any of these die? The transfuses look like they're going to be good enough. And as the Corruptors arrive, this should be just a recall, but meanwhile, it looks like Oracles. Yeah, they found a couple more workers on the right side. MaxPax is playing this early game of his carrier style a lot better. Much, much better than he played in the last one. And that is going to be very nice for him, because now it's going to be harder for Solar to run across the map and just snipe carriers. So this allows MaxPax to actually play his 4-carrier into ground toss style that he has been so successful with for quite a while. Yeah, for high school, yeah. For non-college, that makes sense. Arizona State is like middle August to middle May, early May. Okay, now Solar, he's walking some queens, he's walking some Corruptors, he's going for that Roach Corruptor queen timing that is so powerful against this style. I wonder whether MaxPax has done enough to secure his spot. So now the Corruptors, they're going to find these carriers to start, but you got to be careful. You do not want to be tanking massive Archon shots before the fight kicks off in earnest. That's a bit of a problem. So we notice we have the Corruptors, or the Archons, they're sitting on where the dead airspace is, where these doodads are, because they know that's where the Corruptors are going to be coming from, and they want to be able to hit these juicy shots before things happen in earnest. But Solar, actually, he's going to rotate over to the right side now, where he thinks there's just maybe some less static defense. And he will be right for the most part. But again, the Archons are the scary thing for these Corruptors, as we're going to start to see the Interceptors the carriers release their Interceptors. Big Disruptor shot as well going forward. And it feels like this build that MaxPax has gone for really just invites this idea, because Shield Battery Overcharge means that these Corruptors are not dying all that quickly. So many of the Roaches are dying. All the Corruptors are just dead, and there are 3 carriers still remaining. It looks like maybe one more falls, but that is a false lie. That is just it. The Roach Corruptor queen timing does absolutely nothing. And MaxPax is your champion here, EPT NA 126.